Welcome back to Coin Quest. If you've ever come across a small brown coin from the late 1940s in your pocket change or tucked away in an old jar, don't dismiss it too quickly. Today we're diving deep into one particular coin, the 1948 wheat penny. You might be surprised to learn that this tiny 1-cent coin could be worth way more than its face value. In this video, we'll explore the story behind the 1948 wheat penny, what makes it special, how much it's worth today, and why collectors are still chasing after it. The 1948 wheat penny was minted shortly after World War II during a time of economic transition in the United States. It's part of the iconic Lincoln wheat cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The wheat penny gets its name from the two stalks of wheat engraved on the reverse side of the coin. This classic design was created by Victor David Brenner and remained in circulation until 1958 before it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Now, what's so special about the 1948 penny? To start, it's made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which gives it that distinct reddish-brown tone when it's freshly minted. Over time, these pennies can darken due to oxidation, but collectors still highly value original luster and color. The obverse side features the bust of Abraham Lincoln with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1948 to the right. The United States Mint produced the 1948 penny at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia bear no mint mark and are the most common. Denver minted pennies carry a small d beneath the date, while San Francisco pennies are marked with an S. While these distinctions may seem minor, they play a huge role in a coin's value among collectors. Rarity, condition, and mint mark are all key factors that affect how much your 1948 penny could be worth. So how many of these coins were made? The Philadelphia Mint struck over 317 million coins. The Denver Mint produced over 172 million. And the San Francisco Mint minted a little over 81 million. In terms of mintage numbers, the 1948 penny is far from rare. However, that does not mean you won't find valuable examples out there. The real money lies in the details, and in the condition. Let's talk about grading. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A 1948 wheat penny found in circulated condition, meaning it has visible signs of wear from being used in commerce, might only fetch a few cents to $1 or $2. But if you happen to have one in uncirculated condition, that is, it was never used and retains its full original detail, then you're in luck. These coins can be worth $10, $20, or even more depending on eye appeal and color. Red pennies are the most sought after. That means the coin still has its original red copper shine from the day it was minted. Then, there are red-brown examples, which have lost some luster but still retain some of that original color. And finally, there are brown pennies, which are fully oxidized but still collectible depending on grade. Now here's where things get interesting. A 1948 penny from Denver or San Francisco in mint state 65 red condition can easily command $30 to $50 or more in the current market. Exceptional specimens graded by PCGS or NGC, the top third-party grading services, have sold for well over $100 at auction. In fact, a few gem-quality coins have brought in prices of $200 or more. That's quite a return on a 1-cent coin, but it doesn't stop there. Errors can drive the value up dramatically. Coins with minting errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A 1948 wheat penny with a strong doubling on Lincoln's profile or lettering would be a rare find indeed. These kinds of errors are usually verified by professional graders and given special labels. So what's the current market like for these coins? Well, demand for wheat pennies remains strong, especially from new collectors and investors entering the hobby. The 1948 penny is often included in complete Lincoln cent collections, which means there's always a market for high-grade examples. Online platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections have seen steady activity. Common circulated coins may still sell for under $1, but certified high-grade pieces can attract competitive bidding. If you think you might have a valuable 1948 penny, there are a few steps you can take. First, examine the coin under good lighting and with a magnifying glass to assess the condition. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair and beard, clear lettering, and minimal wear. Next, check for any unusual features like doubling or repunched marks. Finally, consider sending your coin to a grading service if you believe it could be mint state or contains an error. So to recap, the 1948 wheat penny may seem common at first glance, but it carries historical value and potential worth depending on condition, mint mark, and possible errors. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just found a penny in an old drawer, it pays to know what to look for. One small coin could be worth a surprising amount of money. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment letting us know what coin you'd like us to explore next. Who knows, maybe the next coin in your pocket will be worth more than you think. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and sought-after coins in American numismatic history, the 1955 wheat penny. This small copper coin may look ordinary at first glance, but it has a story and a value that's anything but. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about coins, this is one you need to know about. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's explore the 1955 wheat penny, a coin with a mistake so famous, it became a treasure. To understand the 1955 wheat penny, we first need to go back to the basics. The Lincoln wheat cent, also known as the wheat penny, was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The reverse side featured two wheat stalks flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America, giving it the nickname wheat penny. Now, fast forward to 1955. That year, the United States Mint in Philadelphia produced a coin that would go on to become one of the most talked about minting errors in American history. This is the coin known today as the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent. What happened in 1955 was a classic case of human error meeting machinery. During the minting process, a die, that's the stamp used to strike the coin, became misaligned. Specifically, it shifted slightly between impressions, which caused the image on the die to appear doubled. This error was not caught immediately, and by the time it was discovered, tens of thousands of these coins had already been released into circulation. But what exactly does the doubling look like? On the 1955 double-die penny, the doubling is most noticeable in the lettering. The words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1955 appear clearly doubled to the naked eye. This isn't a subtle error. It's bold and dramatic. That's part of what makes it so collectible. You don't need a magnifying glass or a trained eye to see it. The doubling jumps right out at you. Initially, these error coins were mixed into a regular batch of cents and sent out to banks, stores, and even cigarette vending machines. That's right. Back in the 1950s, a penny could still buy you something. People started to notice something was strange with these coins. Reports began trickling in, and when collectors realized what was happening, the demand skyrocketed. Interestingly, the United States Mint never officially recalled these coins. In fact, they acknowledged the error and chose to let the coins remain in circulation. This only added to the coin's mystique and value. Unlike most errors that are quietly destroyed or melted down, the 1955 double die was accidentally released into the wild. Over the decades, this coin has built up a legendary reputation. It's considered the holy grail of Lincoln cents, not only because of its striking appearance, but also because it represents a perfect storm of rarity, historical context, and collector demand. The exact number of these coins in existence isn't known, but estimates suggest that somewhere around 20 to 24,000 examples were released before the error was caught. Now let's talk about the fun part: value. How much is a 1955 wheat penny worth today? Well, it depends. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. A heavily circulated 1955 double die in poor condition might still fetch around $1,000. But if you have one in a better grade, say, extremely fine or uncirculated, you could be looking at $2,500, $5,000, or even more. In fact, high-grade examples certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC have sold for astonishing amounts. One mint state example sold at auction for over $100,000. Yes, you heard that right. 6 figures for a single penny. And that's not just hype. These coins are genuinely valuable and continue to be in strong demand. The key to that kind of value is condition. Coins with full original luster, no major scratches, and sharp doubling command premium prices. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for pristine examples. If your coin has been graded MS65 red or better, those are the real moneymakers. But here's where it gets tricky. The fame of this coin has also made it a target for counterfeits. Over the years, many fakes have entered the market. Some are altered coins where someone manually etched in doubling, while others are entirely fabricated. That's why authentication is crucial. If you think you have a 1955 double die, don't try to sell it until it's been examined by a reputable grading service. Now, what about the regular 1955 wheat penny, the one without the doubling? That version is still collectible but far less valuable. A typical 1955 wheat cent in circulated condition might be worth 5 to 10 cents. In uncirculated condition, it might go for $1 to $5 depending on the grade. So, unless it has that famous doubling, it's a cool piece of history, but not a windfall. If you're a coin collector or even a casual hobbyist, it's worth checking your coin jars, old piggy banks, and inherited collections. You never know what you might find. Many people have discovered valuable coins in the most unexpected places, even mixed in with pocket change. So, to recap, the 1955 wheat penny is famous for one reason: the dramatic double die error. With only tens of thousands released and even fewer surviving in top condition, it has become one of the most iconic and valuable pennies in American numismatic history. From its accidental origins to its legendary status among collectors, it is a coin that continues to captivate. Whether you're chasing one for your collection or just dreaming of finding one in a forgotten jar, the 1955 double die wheat penny represents everything exciting about coin collecting: rarity, history, mystery, and big-time value. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and let us know in the comments. Do you have a 1955 wheat penny in your collection? Until next time, happy collecting and keep checking your change. That next valuable penny might just be in your pocket. Everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a coin collector, a history buff, or just someone curious about the value of old coins, you are in the right place today. We are diving deep into one of the most talked about and widely collected coins in American history, the 1957 wheat penny. Yes, that tiny copper-colored coin that may be sitting in your drawer, your piggy bank, or your pocket change could be worth more than you think. So stick around, because by the end of this video you will know everything you need to understand the history, the value, and what to look for when it comes to the 1957 1-cent wheat penny. Let us begin with the basics. The 1957 wheat penny is part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner and was the first Regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The obverse of the coin shows a right-facing bust of Lincoln, with the words, "I in God we trust" above his head, liberty to the left, and the year 1957 to the right. The reverse features two stylized wheat stalks curving along the sides with the words 1 cent and United States of America in the center, and E pluribus unum at the top. Now let us talk about the production of this coin. The 1957 wheat penny was minted in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins minted in Philadelphia simply have the date 1957. Those minted in Denver bear a small d mint mark under their date. In total, over 1 billion 1957 wheat pennies were minted, specifically over 282 million from Philadelphia and over 1 billion from the Denver Mint. Because of this high mintage, the 1957 penny is generally considered a common coin, but that does not mean it is worthless. Far from it. So how much is a 1957 wheat penny actually worth? Well, the answer depends on a few key factors. The first is the condition or grade of the coin. Coins that are worn, circulated, or have damage may only be worth 1 to 3 cents. However, coins that are in uncirculated condition can be worth much more. For example, a 1957 penny in mint state 65 red condition can be worth anywhere from $5 to $15, and if it is a particularly stunning example with great luster, no scratches, and strong details, it can fetch over $50. But it gets even more interesting when we talk about error coins and special varieties. Collectors are always on the lookout for wheat pennies that have minting errors. These can include double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and more. A 1957 D wheat penny with a clear double die obverse, for example, can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on severity and condition. Another popular error is the BIE error. This happens when a die crack forms between the letters B and E in Liberty, creating what looks like the letter I. These small anomalies can make a common coin into a desirable collectible. Let me also mention something important about color designation. Collectors often classify Lincoln wheat cents by color. You may hear terms like red, brown, or red when talking about uncirculated coins. A coin that is red is bright and lustrous and usually brings the highest premium. A red-brown coin has started to tone slightly, and a brown coin is darker with full oxidation. These color distinctions can impact value dramatically even between coins of the same grade. So where can you sell a 1957 wheat penny? If you believe you have one worth money, there are several options. You can go through online marketplaces like eBay or Etsy. You can list on coin selling platforms like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections, where you can take your coin to a reputable local coin dealer for appraisal. But make sure you know the grade and any possible errors on your coin before you sell. It is always best to get a second opinion and even consider professional grading through services like PCGS or NGC. You might be wondering why people still collect wheat pennies. There are a few reasons. First, they are historic. They represent over 50 years of American coinage and include key dates and rare varieties. Second, they are affordable for beginners but still offer room to grow for serious collectors. And third, they have an element of treasure hunting. Every time you check your change, you might find something valuable. So in summary, here is what to look for when you come across a 1957 wheat penny. Check the mint mark, check the color, look for signs of wear, check for minting errors or die varieties, and consider whether it is worth having professionally graded. And here is the big question: can a 1957 wheat penny be worth thousands of dollars? In extremely rare cases, yes, especially if it is a high-grade red coin with a dramatic error. Some examples have sold at auction for over $1,000. Though these are very rare, it is certainly possible. So take the time to look closely at your pennies. You never know what you might have. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1957 wheat penny, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this one. We will continue to cover coins from U.S. history with hidden value in. Do not forget to check your change. That little copper coin could be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Until next time, happy collecting and keep hunting for treasure in your pocket, where we dive into the fascinating world of coins, collectibles, and everything in between. Today we're going deep into the story of the 1958 wheat penny, also known as the 1-cent Lincoln wheat reverse coin. Whether you've found one in your change jar or inherited a few from a grandparent, you might be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than 1 cent. But why is the 1958 wheat penny so special? What makes it valuable? And how much can it fetch in today's coin market? Let's find out. First, let's travel back in time to understand the roots of this coin. The year is 1958. Dwight D. Eisenhower is president. The United States is in the post-war boom. Television is sweeping the nation. Elvis Presley is shaking up music. And at the U.S. Mint, one of the final batches of wheat pennies is being struck. That's right, 1958 marked the very last year that the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents with the iconic wheat reverse design. After that, starting in 1959, the reverse design changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 150th birthday. So the 1958 wheat penny is not just any old cent. It's the end of an era. But not all 1958 wheat pennies are created equal. Most of the 1958 wheat pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark and at the Denver Mint with a small d underneath the date. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 250 million of these coins. The Denver Mint struck over 800 million. So yes, regular 1958 wheat pennies are technically common. In circulated condition, you might see them sell for just a few cents to $1 or $2, depending on the grade. But the real excitement comes when we talk about high-grade specimens, rare mint errors, and a very mysterious coin known as the 1958 double die obverse. The 1958 double die obverse is one of the rarest and most sought-after Lincoln cents in existence. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist. The doubling on this coin is dramatic and clearly visible. You can see it in the inscriptions on the front, especially the words, Liberty, and In God We Trust, and even the date itself. The story behind this error is that during the die-making process, a hub was misaligned, causing the doubled effect. What's amazing is that for decades collectors believed there were only 2 or 3 known examples. But in recent years, a few more have been discovered, bringing the total known number to just over a dozen. That is still incredibly rare. So what does a 1958 double die penny sell for? Let's talk numbers. In 2018, one of these coins sold at auction for over $130,000. Yes, that is not a mistake, over $100,000 for a 1-cent coin. Even lower-grade examples of the 1958 double die have sold for tens of thousands. If you happen to find one, you could be holding a life-changing treasure. Because of its rarity, this coin is authenticated and certified by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. If you think you might have one, don't clean it, don't alter it, and definitely don't sell it to just anyone. Get it professionally appraised. Now back to the regular 1958 wheat pennies. If you have one in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used and still has its original shine, you might be surprised how much they can be worth even without being a rare error. A 1958 Philadelphia cent graded MS67 red by PCGS can sell for over $100. The same goes for Denver Mint coins, especially if they are certified and have deep red color, no scratches, and full strike details. Mint state examples can be worth a lot more than pocket change, especially to collectors trying to build high-grade Lincoln cent sets. The Wheat Penny series overall is one of the most collected U.S. coin series in history. It started in 1909 and ran until 1958. The earliest coins from 1909, with the initials VB on the reverse, are also very valuable. But the 1958 penny holds a special place because it closed the chapter on the wheat design. Collectors love having complete sets, and a high-quality 1958 is essential. Let's also take a quick look at some tips to tell if your wheat penny is valuable. First, check the date and look closely at the lettering. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to see if there's any doubling. Second, look at the condition. The more mint red color it has, the better. Third, consider having the coin graded by a trusted third-party service. Fourth, stay up to date with coin market trends, because prices can go up and down depending on demand, auctions, and collector interest. As of now, in the current coin market of 2025, high-grade 1958 wheat pennies still perform well. The 1958 double die remains a dream find. Coin dealers, collectors, and investors are always on the lookout for it. Even regular examples in pristine condition are popular in auctions and coin shows. The wheat penny era continues to fascinate people of all ages. So there you have it, the story, the value, and the hidden treasures behind the 1958 wheat penny. Whether it's a family keepsake or something you just pulled from a jar, check your coins. You never know what history or fortune might be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins, collectible currency, and all things numismatic. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable wheat penny, or what your favorite coin is. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep your eyes on the pennies, because sometimes they're worth a whole lot more than you think.